There's a reason that you're going through so much emotional purging at this time of your life. And there's a reason that you found this message. And it's not going to be a long message, but I do feel that this is important. Don't mind my exhaustion. I needed to get this out presently in present time because I feel like this is a big, deep collective energy that's happening right now. And it feels like a purge. It feels like an emotional cleansing and a purification that is happening. Whoever you are, I feel like you're at a time in your life where you're being dismantled, is what it feels like. You could be experiencing almost like you're having to rethink your approach to life or rethink your next steps, rethink and reassess even where you've been, who you are in this moment. There's some sort of recalibration that's happening within your energy. And I do feel like it's because of whatever this dismantling has been. I feel like this week has been, and this is a theme I've noticed even within my own life, this week has been such an extremely emotionally activating week. You could have had deep moments of purging and cleansing deep emotions. It's almost as if anything that you tried to hold in or suppress or repress or hide from. And I do feel like you're somebody who you go out of your way to make sure that you're noticing the aspects within yourself that are hidden. You're not somebody that is afraid of your darkness or afraid of venturing into darkness, but it almost feels as if some things have been overlooked recently. Or there's certain parts of yourself, certain parts of your heart, certain wounds that you've been carrying, core wounds, deep wounds that maybe you've been, I'm hearing the word avoiding or trying to, maybe you've thought that you've already looked at those wounds, so you've kind of tucked them away in the corner. And I feel like you've been very much wanting to focus on living instead of focusing on constantly having to dig up wounds and do the shadow work and all of that. But it feels like this week it left you with no choice. That's the vibes I'm getting. Whoever is in this energy right now, it feels like this week left you with no choice but to see yourself at a depth that you haven't seen yourself at in a really long time. It feels like maybe ever for some of you. And it feels like there's been some sort of stretching that's happening because I'm seeing like energy that's being stretched. So you could have felt like this week you've been stretched beyond your limits or stretched. It's almost like this divine orchestration to pull you, and it wasn't meant to break you. Okay, I feel like that's really important for somebody to know. Everything that you're going through has never been intended to break you. So if you're watching this and you're at a time in your life where you feel like, man, why are things falling apart, or why am I experiencing the emotions that I'm experiencing? Why am I going through this right now? I think as humans, we all just want to be happy. We all want to be at peace. And I think that at least what I've noticed within my own life, and I didn't even notice it, it's at such a deep subconscious level. So I feel like that's why it's important to bring awareness to this. Sometimes when we're so focused on creating a life, especially if you're somebody who's been through an immense amount of trauma and healing and shadow work and all of that already, we get very eager to live just at peace or to live happily, that we rush the healing. We rush the healing process. And I do feel like whoever I'm speaking to, there are core wounds that are existing inside of you that have to be witnessed. They have to be acknowledged. And I know that you've acknowledged them already, but there's a reason why things are resurfacing. And it almost feels like this stretching, it wasn't supposed to break you, but it's actually coming to you as this divine opportunity. Because the one thing about this is what I've learned. The one thing that I've noticed about life is that suffering and purpose go hand in hand. Okay? Your wounds and your gifts go hand in hand. The darkness within you and the light within you, it goes hand in hand. It's inseparable. You can't have one without the other. And I feel like whoever you are, you're somebody who is not afraid to look at parts of yourself that a lot of people would be terrified to look at within themselves. Do you get what I'm saying? You've had to do it. You've had to exercise that strength within your own life. And I'm hearing you right now just be like, I'm tired. I'm tired of being strong. I'm tired of always having to be strong, always having to persevere through things, always having to heal things. And I understand that, but I feel like there's something really special that's happening within your energy right now. really special and really divine and really beautiful if you allow yourself to perceive it that way. Because this stretching, it's like you have a choice right now whether you want to allow this moment of being stretched to break you or to shape you, right? To pull you back into a place where maybe in your previous identity you would perpetuate your own cycles of suffering and your own cycles of trauma, your own old patterns, because it's almost comfortable to exist in those old ways of being. Do you get what I'm saying? And I really feel like at this point, it's almost like you're in this moment where the world is kind of standing still, and you're feeling all of these old things come up. You're feeling all of the emotions. You're feeling everything. Whoever you are feeling everything, and it could be overwhelming at this time of your life. But you also know in the same breath that you're standing at the precipice of something great, something beautiful, and something true. Something that actually is aligned with who you feel you are as a soul. Your true soul. Your true self. And there's something really powerful about this moment, because I feel like it's almost like the darkness is where you're being able to access the gift. It's through the darkness that's where you're able to access the gift. And I feel like at this time of your life, you're being called to purge. There's things that want to come up and move through you and get out of you at this time. Emotions, old ways of being, old ways of looking at yourself, old ways of looking at circumstances that you experienced. It's like these deep, deep wounds that probably go all the way back to when you were like a baby, right? Like this is the depth of these wounds that are coming up. It's wanting to come through you. Oh my gosh, my battery's gonna run out. It's wanting to come through you, not to just make you suffer, but to give you a gift for being brave enough to even witness it. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think that we overcomplicate healing so much because we're like, okay, how do I heal this? How do I heal this? Healing is a lifelong journey, and it's going to be how you choose to show up intentionally every single day. But there's something, the healing begins with the acknowledgement of it, right? And I know that you've acknowledged these wounds before. I can feel that. You've already witnessed this, but there's something about, I'm seeing somebody who like has witnessed something about themselves and then almost tucked that away in a drawer. And now that drawer is like being slammed open, and it's like, no, you don't get to tuck this away and then move on and focus on your purpose, your path, what you want to manifest, love, all of these other beautiful things that you've been focused on because you want that new life. You want that new energy for yourself. You want all of those beautiful blessings that you can feel that are right around the corner. But it's almost like it's in venturing down and descending down into yourself, into the root, into the core of your very being and your existence, that you're able to access purpose, divinity, sovereignty, true sovereignty. I was reflecting today on sovereignty because I do feel like that's all we all really crave, is true freedom, feeling truly free. And I think even for myself, I associated true sovereignty with like, you know, somebody that can go anywhere and do anything. I was associating it with very external things. But I'm realizing that sovereignty can only begin when we're brave enough to look at what is actually shackling our soul, right? Excuse me, what's actually keeping fragments of our soul stuck and attached to the humanness of our very nature, you know, or like things that we experience from young, but I don't think we realize how integral those pieces of ourselves are to the journey. It's not something to just be healed and then, or looked at and then tucked in a drawer, and then we move on to like, okay, here's the fun stuff, here's the manifesting, here's the this, here's the that. Because the thing is, when you're brave enough to look at yourself and to venture down deep enough into those depths, everything else comes as a byproduct of that. And I've been feeling this energy, and I just wanted to make a quick video because I'm going to go more in depth on this after, you know, I settle back from my travels and I can tell you guys more about everything I've learned and discovered. And I can't even begin. I'll have to talk about that another time because I will go off right now. But, oh, what was I saying? What was I saying? I don't know. It'll come back if it's meant to. But anyways, I feel like there has to be recognition that like it starts at the core. And not only does it start at the core, and this is not, I don't want this message to be like, oh my gosh, no, this means I'm stuck in a loop of shadow work again and healing again, because you're not. And I don't think you're supposed to heal and then live. I think you're supposed to heal through your living. And I think that's a really big lesson for whoever you are, that it's not something that you need to put your life on pause to feel like you need to reassess all of these old wounds. I think that the main lesson right now that you're experiencing is that there's certain things that are existing inside of you at this moment that all they want is to be seen. They just want to be noticed. They don't want to feel like you've tucked them away in that drawer and just forgotten about them and moved on, and now you're trying to have and cultivate this beautiful life. And it's just, if you want the life that you're calling in to be sustainable, if you want to be able to hold this life, first of all, you have to be able to feel like you're worthy of holding it in the first place, right? And for a lot of you guys, I do feel like this wound goes that deep. It goes deep into worthiness, into feeling like, do I deserve love? Do I feel still like love is something to be earned? Do I deserve, freedom? And when I talk about love, I'm not talking about relationships. I'm talking about love is everything. You know what I mean? Am I deserving of that? Like, I feel like that's the depth of these wounds. So it's something that can't be overlooked at this time. It can't be. And it's not, I think there's a fine line with healing, but I know whoever I'm speaking to, you're discerning enough to know how to walk that fine line. But it's this balance between being able to witness certain things about yourself, being able to understand that you might carry those wounds with you still, without allowing yourself to get consumed by the healing process. Because I think for a lot of us, that's easy for that to happen, to get sucked in those loops of feeling like you need to dig and dig and dig and keep healing and healing and healing. And that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is there has to be some level of acknowledgement right now and recognition, because there are pieces of yourself that are coming to the surface for you to see them and witness them and love them. Love, like that's all it is. Love is at the core of this. And again, it's not to pause your life and say, okay, I need to go back within. I need to do my shadow work. I need to do this and that. It's going to come naturally. And you're going to notice that at this time in your life, there's nothing that you can run from. Okay. There's nothing you can suppress. There's nothing you can hide from within you. What wants to come out is going to come out. But I just hope that you can process these things with so much grace and kindness and not allow yourself to get stuck in the comfort of healing. Because getting yourself stuck in that, I hope this makes sense. Getting yourself stuck in that loop of healing and healing and healing and assessing, how can I heal this? How can I heal this? How can I heal this? It does get to a point where it feels comfortable because you're so used to it. You're used to doing it habitually. Do you get what I'm saying? So we're shifting out of that mindset and into the reality that, no, you are able to live now. You don't have to be so strong. You don't have to be carrying all of this and putting so much pressure on yourself to figure this out. That's not what I'm saying. It will figure itself out. But I think at this moment in time, you're being stretched for a reason. There's a reason you're experiencing all of these feelings and all of these emotions and just everything that you're experiencing right now. It's expanding you. And at the other side of this is the gift, is the treasure, the blessing, the miracle, all these beautiful things that I've been seeing for you guys that is coming in. But it's almost like don't feel like you need to demonize or label this emotional purge that's happening within you as bad. I want you to forget about the terms good and bad altogether in life, okay? But we're going to go deep these next few weeks on all of this stuff. But I did feel very called to put out this message right now because I feel that the energy is very intense. And this is a deep transformation that you're going through and a deep healing. And I want you to know that I see you and I see the depth of this and I understand, I feel, I resonate and I feel everything that you're feeling right now. And I just hope that you know how strong you are, and that you know that this could be used as a great, great catalyst to change the trajectory of your life forever if you allow it to be perceived that way. If you don't allow yourself to get consumed by the heaviness of it all, the overwhelm of it all, the fear of it all, but instead realize that sometimes your darkness is your greatest blessing. Sometimes being able to go through, the depth of yourself and descend into that darkness, it's like the phoenix that rises from the ashes. That's what's happening right now. Okay. So I love you so much. I will update you guys some more. Yeah, when I get back home and settled and everything. But quick message for the day. I love you with my whole heart, my whole being, everything inside of me. I will talk